Welcome to Bari Television. My name is Jabbar Shakir, and I have the wonderful Coach Mike Gladu with baseball. How are you doing, Coach Mike?
Listen, living large, one day at a time. Above the dirt, we're doing good.
Here's Coach Mike's intro. He's a native of Adams, and also if you would like to add anything while I'm doing the intro, feel free.
Sure.
He was hired in October 2015 to lead the MCLA baseball program. He served as an assistant coach at Williams College for 5 years. He was a manager of baseball operations at Cages at the Mill in North Adams. He also managed the Berkshire Americans 18U travel team for 3 years. Now, this one I am
Not quite sure about.
I'm not quite sure about.
I'll see if I can remember.
It says you were signed with the Chicago Cubs.
Yeah, so I played, I went to college. I went to high school locally at Hoosick Valley, and I went to college at American International College in Springfield, Division II school. I was there for 1 year, and I was actually transferring to come here and play for Coach Zavatero at North Adams State at the time. And I got a call from a scout, a Cub Scout, which kind of like not the Girl Scouts or the Boy Scouts, Cub Scout, who lived in Bennington, who had saw me pitch that summer, and quickly, asked me if he knew I was in between schools, so he could talk to me, and he asked me if I wanted to come to a tryout at UMass in front of his boss, who was the regional scout for the Northeast, Ed DeRomero, a guy from out near Boston. So anyway, I go out there and meet him, and I throw like 10 pitches, and I'll never forget it. I was standing there, my parents were there, I was 21 years old, and he's kind of a grumpy old guy, so after like the 10th pitch, he said, I've seen enough, and I went like, oh my God, like I just blew it, right? And he said, how'd you like to go to Arizona in 2 weeks? I said, yeah. He goes, all right, let's go to dinner and we'll talk about the contract. So we did that, and I signed, and then I played there for 2 years. I played in the Cubs organization for 2 years. My first year was rookie league level, kind of like there's a team over in Troy that's affiliated with God, I can't remember the name of the team. They're right over in Troy, New York. Anyway, they're in the New York Penn League, which is the same league that I played in, but I played in the Appalachian League. It'll come to me in about 20 minutes when it comes to me, the name of the team. It's kind of a split season A-ball season where you spend half your time where you were in spring training. So my first year I spent right up into June in Arizona, and then broke for Wytheville, Virginia. 3-month season got done in my second year, went through spring training again, and went to Peoria, Illinois, which was a much bigger venue than playing in the Bible Belt of the South. Then one day I was just in the pen throwing a bullpen and felt something in my arm, and it was the old, the shoulder kind of blew out on me a little bit. So it was a great time though. It was a lot of fun.
A picture of you. I did my research.
So you got some evidence there. I'm not.
Got some evidence.
Yeah.
Of you.
Yeah, that's me.
1988
I don't know if I can,
left-handed picture.
You can see that it's about. I think I was 210 pounds. So that's about 50 pounds lighter, and 30 years younger. But yeah. It was a good time, man. That was my first year. That was my. As a matter of fact, you can't really tell in the picture, but I have a glove from a guy who was in the big leagues. Who, when I was in my first year of A-ball, my roommate in spring training was a guy who was in AAA. So we were all together, kind of in this hotel complex, and so his friends were guys who played in the big leagues like Mark Grace, Rafael Palmeiro. Some of the guys who played for the Pittsfield Cubs, because Pittsfield, Mass had a team, which is 20 minutes from here. They were the AA affiliate, and actually, so Gary Parmenter, a guy from Bennington, Vermont, was in AAA, so he knew a lot of these guys. And these guys come over to the hotel, and Mark Grace, a Hall of Famer, would come. Yes, he was just making into the big leagues, but you could tell he was really good. So he would come in, and I'd come back from the hotel, he'd be sitting there, and, you know, hey, sorry, Mike, I'm sitting on your bed. I'm like, man, don't worry about it. Like, you're going to be in the big leagues. You can sit wherever you want. But one of the other guys had a glove, and he gave it to me, so I actually used it. I had my own glove, but I really like this one. So in this picture, it's the guy's name is still on the glove. It's kind of funny, but yeah, those are good times.
Because I looked up that you had your record for your rookie season in 1988. Your record for pitching, you were a left-handed pitcher, you were 6-4. You had an ERA of 5.67.
A little high.
A little high.
Yeah, a little high.
You pitched 60 innings. You had 66 strikeouts and 49 walks.
Yeah, so I was a wild thing. Like, I threw, like, you know, so 1987, 1988, I mean, left-handed pitchers, it was not like today where everybody throws 95, you know. So I topped off at like 92, and for a lefty that was really good 25 years ago, 30 years ago. But I was wild. Like, I either struck you out or walked you or maybe hit you. Right? I mean, so, you know, to go with that, I led the team. My first year, I led the team in wins. I started off 6-0. And then I tweaked my back, and they put me in the bullpen. And then I came back, and my next 4 decisions, we just couldn't find a way to win. I was 6-4, and then they ended up putting me back in the bullpen, and I got a save. So I have a professional save to my record too. But it was fun. Like I said, you know, and anytime you have more strikeouts than innings pitched, that's really good. But you know, those walks, yeah, way too many walks. You want about 1 of every 3 innings. So if I had 20 walks, that'd be good. But 47, yeah, I was all over the place. I either hit you or struck you out, or you know, maybe obviously walked a few guys too. But yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Now we're going to get started. We are still doing playing the Bean Boozle and the Jenga. Whoever loses in Jenga has to take one of these nasty Bean Boozles, jelly beans.
No, there's some good ones in there too. Right?
There's some good
They're not
ones
all bad. You're not setting me up for failure.
No, we're both doing it. So there's some good ones. Like the good one could be coconut.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah.
Butter popcorn peach. Juicy pear, toothpaste, chocolate pudding, caramel corn, lime, berry blue.
Sounds like they're all good ones. There's no bad ones in there, is there?
Those bad ones, I was naming all the good ones.
Oh. Okay.
Because the bad ones, spoiled milk, rotten egg, barf, booger, stinky socks, dead fish, dog food, moiled cheese, and lawn clippings.
Long clippings would not be too bad. Hopefully, if I'm going to get a bad one, I think it might want it to be that.
Oh. You ready?
Yeah, so what are we doing here? I've never played this. So you're taking advantage of me, but, you know,
I'll take the first.
So I'm pulling, you pull out a black. As long as the whole thing doesn't fall, then you get, then we're good.
You take one out, and you put it on top. So if it goes, this is horizontal, you go vertical, you go in the middle.
Now what if it falls apart when you're putting it on top? That still counts.
That still
you're
counts.
Screwed up.
That's your whole turn.
Okay. Now what, if you start, do you have to finish, or can you like say, no, I don't want to take that one, I'm going to take another one? How does this work? Yeesh. Alright.
Whew. Alright,
Can I go while you're talking to me?
Yeah.
Let's see if I can. Right now. Okay.
What are some of the best memories that you have playing with the Cubs?
So
you can remember.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So I think you meet some great people. Like I had a chance to meet Don Zimmer. So Don Zimmer was a coach. I mean, he's around baseball his whole life. He actually managed the Red Sox for a short period of time. He was with the Yankees towards the end of his career. He's the guy when the Red Sox and the Yankees, they got in a brawl, and Pedro Martinez threw that guy down. I don't know if you remember that. So that was Don Zimmer that he threw down, right? But I met Don when I was in the minor leagues, and he was, first of all, a class act, but he was a lot of fun to be around. always joking, and just a great baseball guy. Rick Sutcliffe's another guy comes to mind. He's in the Hall of Fame. Was a great guy. Actually, my roommate and I, he took us out to dinner one night, you know, because he knew we were struggling, minor leaguers. He took us out to eat. I met Andre Dawson, who's a Hall of Famer. He actually gave us a ride. We were in the mall, so it was a mall close to where we were staying. And my roommate and I were walking around the mall. Well, we got a ride to the mall, but we never ride home. So we saw Andre Dawson walking around, and I said, "Wait!" I said, "Go ask Andre Dawson. That's Andre." "Yeah, I know it is, Mike." I said, "Yeah, go ask him to see if he'll give us a ride back home to the motel." And I'm like, "Just go ask him." He's like, "No, I'm not." I go, "Come on, what's he gonna do? Say no? Way, he's gonna help us out." So he went up and asked him, and he actually pulled up in his Mercedes and picked us up and gave us a ride back to the hotel room. So yeah, you meet a lot of good guys, a lot of guys who are interesting, and people from all over the country.
Favorite baseball players from then and now?
I mean, so being from Massachusetts and having, you know, two parents who loved watching baseball, I grew up a Red Sox fan. I was almost forced to, which I'm all right with. So it was always like, you know, we never talked about the Yankees like that. Right? That's just huge. So for me growing up, obviously, like Carl Yastrzemski was one of those guys that you know, I grew up loved to watch him play. You know, get a chance to go to Fenway Park a couple times a year. So for me, probably him, or Freddie Lynn was an outfielder that played for the Red Sox. You know, and then we had the guys that I hated, obviously, were anybody in pinstripes, right? So, you know, Thurman Munson, you know, any of those guys that were the Yankees, you know, Mickey Rivers, all those old Yankee guys. And I remember back in I don't know if it was 75 or 76, they had a brawl at Yankee Stadium. There was a big fight. And, so I cheered right along with the fact when the Yankees wouldn't win. And for me, getting off topic, but for me, as a Red Sox fan, like this year, like even though they're bad, like it's not that bad, because at the end of the day, as long as the Yankees don't win the World Series, it's a good year. So, yeah, anytime you're talking about Red Sox and Yankees, like my wife is a Yankee fan. My stepson is a Yankee fan. Can I help you with that?
No, I'm
trust me. Man, how did that not fall?
I don't
Anyway,
know how I did that one, to be honest with you.
so those guys are all my 11-year-old son is a Yankees fan because I'm a Red Sox fan. So I'm surrounded by Yankee fans. So this year is tough, but like I said, as long as I don't know if this is going to work. As long as the Yankees don't win the World Series, I don't know, Jabari. I'm not liking that one.
I kind of set you up.
You set me up for failure with that
I
move,
did.
didn't you? That's all right. I'm gonna look a little
You
bit.
gotta look at the.
I mean, this
you gotta
way,
look at the tower.
Yeah, it's wanting to go. I think this side's gonna be an all right one to pull. Now, I'm not done. So, plus. Oh my God. Plus the fact that the Yankees win a lot drives me crazy. Oh my God. I think I'm gonna be able to pull this off. I think I'm gonna pull this out, and I don't think
It's already out.
No, it's not. Now should I just like rip it, or just keep going? Sometimes the hardest part is putting it on the top without it falling. Okay. Whew. Come on, you're a seasoned veteran. You know which one to yank right now.
I did.
Know.
I thought you were gonna go for this one.
All right.
Because it's floating on that one.
Okay. I think I'm in trouble here. Oh. So I'm gonna fix this way. Okay. I mean, shouldn't be that hard, really. I think this one's gonna go.
Going and It's not
It
going.
should. It's like loosen up, but it's not. Look at that. I mean, that shouldn't be an issue. Oh my god. Whew. Okay, the ball's in your court.
Hearing from last year, what are some things that you are looking forward to for overcoming last?
Yeah. So last year, I thought roster-wise and talent-wise, we were gonna have our best year. Like I was shocked that we didn't have a very good year compared to the 2 years before when we made the playoffs each year. And I think it came down to, for me, the deciding factor was we could not. So we lost games by a lot of runs, and then we won games by a lot of runs as well. But all the close games, we didn't win one of those close games. Like 3-1, 1-0, 3-2, 4-2. So all of those close games that we had, we just couldn't find a way to win it. And there was a couple of reasons why. Obviously, we get guys on first and second with nobody out. Get a guy up there to try and bunt, pop it up. Guy catches it. Now next play is a double play out of the inning. Guys in second and third, nobody out or one out, couldn't drive home hit the ball to the outfield to drive home that run. So those were the things that made the difference last year, where I thought talent-wise we were really going to be good. But I can tell you, this year, like we got 39 guys in our fall camp. So last year we ended up with 27 guys. This year we're going to have probably 35 guys, and it's real deep. Yeah, we got some depth. We're looking at, I think we have 19 arms right now for pitching. We're probably going to keep 17 or 18, and the rest of the guys are position players. But we got guys who can run. We got guys who can field. It's real deep, and we brought in. So we had 19 guys coming back roughly. And then we brought in like 19 new guys. I think we got 13 freshmen recruits and like 6 or 7 transfers. So, and then I'm still working on trying to get a couple more guys for January. I'd like to end up with 42 guys February 1st, and trim it down to 35 on the 5th or 6th of February. So, a lot of depth this year.
The singers from last year: Jeff Bing, Brendan Kelly, Antonio Archina, and Bobby New. Who have you seen that can replace those seniors that?
Yeah, so we got a freshman kid from Miami, Chris Martinez, who plays shortstop. I think he's really good, and he's shown he's been good. We're early in our practices for the fall, but he's got all the tools to be a good replacement for Bing. I gotta tell you, I don't think you can replace Bobby New. The things that he did, the tools that he had, but that's something that doesn't happen overnight. But we have some different options. Like we have guys, and even Kelly as well, but we have guys now that we brought in who throw harder. So we have a different look in our pitching staff that we didn't have in the past few years, with that guy that can come in and blow it by guys. So we have a couple of guys that can do that. I think catching wise, I'm thinking about Antonio. I mean, the kid worked really hard. Again, that's an intangible that can be hard to replace. We have a freshman here now, Mason Trock, a kid from Connecticut, who's going to try and fill those steps. But he's a freshman, so he's going to have to learn. The same thing for Antonio when he was a freshman. He played all 4 years for me. My hope is that Traka plays all 4 years as well. With all my recruits, and I tell them, look, it's up to you. You have to be successful in the classroom and work hard to be a better baseball player. If you're doing those two things, your job here is pretty secure. But if you don't, then you're suspect to, the Grim Reaper showing up and taking your hopes and dreams away, which it truly is the hardest part of my job. I got injured. I got removed from an organization. It's an awful feeling.
Yeah.